All right, Roberto, first drill is all about rotation, how to get around the crease, remain square to the shooter, and play the angles properly.
Yep.
All right, so here we go.
Into the crease, and you sort of explain what you have in mind while you're doing it, and then we'll get the kids in to do 2 reps each.
All right, well, the first one is just kind of an X pattern. You start on your post. You make sure you have good post position with your stick and your glove, and you move all the way across. Always got to look first with your head to see where you're going, and you go back to the other post. So you kind of do like an X there.
Why is it, I just want to ask a question about when I played, is that when the puck's in front of the goal line or behind? Because I notice your foot is in front as opposed to how we used to be right under the crossbar.
Exactly. I think, you know, as long as the guy's above the goal line, I always prefer to have my stick here just so I can be mobile and cut off passes. And once the guy goes to a certain area behind the net, then I move it around so I can intercept some passes from behind the net.
Okay.
Okay, so who's going first, Darren or Christian?
Come on in, Christian. And do it twice.
Twice each side?
Pardon me? Yeah. Yeah. What do you think of that?
This is moving pretty well. I think it's important when you do a drill like that you really take your time between each movement. You don't want to get into like a fluid pattern and just go right through it. You want to make sure you push and you stop every time and pretend the guy has got the puck at the point and, you know, passes it across and stuff like that.
Go ahead, Darren. Now, do you think Christian was going a little bit too quickly, or is that about right speed for his level?
Yeah, he's going quick. You know, it's important, though, that, you know, like I said, every time he finishes a movement, you stop. You know, you pretend like the guy's got the puck at the point, he's going to pass it across, so you move across, you stop, you wait for a second, and then you move again, you know?
Good job, Darren. How's Darren doing?
Darren's doing good. I think it's important, you know, especially, you know, at his age, once he starts to learn to push, he's got to make sure that, you know, he pushes with one leg and he's got to stop with the opposite one, so that when you stop, you're already square to the shooter and you don't have to readjust yourself.
Christian, any questions for Roberto? You can lift your mask up and ask if you like.
No, I do this with my goalie coach all the time, so it's pretty straightforward.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's it's routine.
Yeah, exactly.
So explain to us the 3 primary components, angle, depth, and body, and how they relate to the positioning and skating.
Well, obviously, I think, you know, once you make your first push, you want to make sure you stop all the way at the top of your crease and, you know, you're square to the shooter. And like I said, you know, once you stop and you pretend like the guy's got a puck, you know, you got to move across and make sure that you don't have to push with speed, but I think you got to push hard and stop hard, you know, and once you've done that, you know, you make sure that you got good post position when you get back.
What's your first move? Is it a C-cut? Or just a driving push? Can you show us that again?
It's a T-push for me.
Okay. T-push?
Yeah. You know, when I start from the post, my first movement is always going to go like this so I can open up.
Okay.
Because it's a long stride, so I can't, you know, shuffle across. You really got a T-push to make sure you get all the way out there.
Now, under-rotating is a problem for goaltenders. Yeah. What kind of problems does that present?
Well, I think it's more when you get into the butterfly, but at the same time, you want to make sure that whatever standing up or your butterfly, that your skate that's going to push is at the right angle to make sure you want to push exactly where you want to be. So, I mean, if your skate's open this way, you know, you're going to push more towards the middle than on the side there. So you always got to make sure that the skate that pushes is always at the right angle to where your destination is.
And again, Roberto, we'd point out these are drills you do on a daily basis with Ian Clark, sometimes before practice, sometimes after.
Yeah, I mean, I do it every day, even when Ian's not here. And, you know, obviously there's some more technical stuff when Ian's around, and we get to spend some time together on the ice.
Okay, so the first drill was all about how to conduct yourself deep in the crease. The second is how to move around the perimeter of the crease. Perimeter pattern it's called, to give yourself the best possible chance to make the save. Go ahead.
You know, it's going to be a bit harder because there's no crease area here, and you know, there's a lot of visual references here. So I'm just going to pretend there is a crease and talk about you know, what I'm looking at when I'm moving across. So it's kind of the same start. You start from your post, and it's important to be relaxed, in a relaxed position here, because the puck is working around the perimeter, and you don't really have to be you know, tense in your stance, you know, as if a shot's going to be coming in the perimeter. So
you want to be big in this?
You just want to be tall, but I think the main thing is you want to be relaxed and make sure that, you know, if the puck moves around, you're not tense and you're able to react to a pass or something like that.
Okay, first up, guess Christian? Oh, you haven't shown us yet. Sorry. Let's see it. I'm way ahead of myself.
So you move this. It's just a small push, and this is more like a shuffle. And for visual reference, it would be the hash mark. And then the second push is another small push, which would be the blue line. And the next push is a T-push all the way across to the other blue line. another small push to the hash mark, and you finish on your post as if the puck is in the corner.
Okay. Do you want to go, Christian? And this is one, Roberto, that you worked on a lot in the last half with Ian, because what were you doing differently?
Well, I think I was really wide, and what I was doing was really locking in on the puck, and sometimes when the pass was made, I was a bit slower to react and not as effective.
Now, a lot of these skating drills, obviously they're key. For young players like this, how often do you get your skate sharpened? Because that always fascinated me. Mike Vernon would sharpen his skates once a month, and I'd get mine sharpened every day.
Oh, yeah. I get them before every game. Yeah. It was my routine, so I like to have a nice sharp skate in net. And now they have the sweet stick, which is great, which you just pass it under your blade and you're good to go.
Okay, here's Darren Grant.
Darren's looking pretty good.
Yeah, he's moving really well. He's got it right. He's shuffling both times, and then all the way across, he's making a nice T-push there. So that's
okay.
Really,
now, how tiring is this? How often you'd want young guys like Darren doing this? Because at 13 years old, that must be awfully tiring.
Well, I think it's more of once you get into the routine of doing it every day, you build up to have the stamina to do it, and at the same time you build some muscle, and it's good for you in the game.
Okay, Steve Grant, Darren's father, is ready with a question. Steve.
Roberto, just wondering what sports you played growing up, and how good did you do at them? Did you excel in those sports as well?
What other sports did you play as a kid, and how well did you do it?
I played soccer growing up. I mean, Italian boy from Chilean art, so I played soccer, and I did pretty well until I was 13, and then I really had to make a decision whether I wanted to pursue that or play hockey, and obviously hockey was a bigger passion for me.
I have one quick question before we go to break. Butterfly is the preferred style of all goaltenders these days, and I guess you play the sort of catchphrase style now, which is the hybrid style, but butterfly really is the bedrock of most styles we see in the NHL these days. Is there any chance a young goaltender could make it if he wasn't at least reasonably proficient at the butterfly style?
I mean, it would be rare. I mean, you don't even see that many goalies in the NHL. I mean, I can only think of maybe Marty Brodeur that really doesn't play the butterfly that much. And everybody else nowadays.
What style does HNIC play?
You got me on that one. Yeah, he doesn't have a style. It doesn't count.
He just guesses right a lot, it seems.
Yeah, he's great at reading the play, so that's what makes him so efficient.
Okay, Roberto Luongo of the Vancouver Canucks, our guest on After Hours. Good enough to come out tonight and run an on-ice clinic with Darren Grant and Christian Hill, and we'll continue with more on After Hours live from GM Place.